We have now created our project plan. Let's now look into the resources we need to execute those activities, and let's make sure we capture the associated costs. To do so, you first need to define the resources you have in your consulting company. So go to the symbol icon resources, click it, and define a list of the resources you have in your company and you need to do your project. So let's assume we need a senior consultant, we need a junior consultant, we need a hardware engineer, we need a software engineer, we need some testers, and so on. You might also have some costs, like travel costs. If it's not a person, you need to indicate here that it's material. In the column resource costs, you define the hourly rate for that particular person. Now be careful. If you're a consulting company, you will see that in the cost file which is communicated to you, the hourly rates seem to be abnormally high. This is normal. I will explain why this is. Assume your senior consultant has a brutto monthly salary of, let's say, 5,000 euros in a Western European country. So he probably then has an hourly brutto salary rate of something like 35 euros an hour or so. Now you will not see here in this resource cost column 35 euros. You will probably see something like this, 60 euros. Why is this? Why is it not 35? It's still cost, so it's not selling price. We still need to add our engagement margin. This is cost. Why is this? Well, your consulting company only gets its revenue from renting the brains of people. So letting those consultants work and ask money for that work from your customers. But they have a manager. There is a secretary. There is a nice building. There is a restaurant. There are maintenance activities to be done on the building. There is infrastructure in the building. Who will pay for that? Well, that's the reason why you see here 60 euros and not 35. Because we need to pay for all of those overhead costs. So there will be an overhead factor which you will have to add to the salary of your employees to cover for all that. So such a cost we will use here. So let's say that our more junior consultant with fully overload those costs added will be 50 euros. Your hardware engineer will be 50. Your software engineer will be a bit more expensive, let's say 55. And your testers, they will be cheaper, let's say they are 45. And travel, that was 1,000 euros. Okay. So set up this table. Make sure you have your fully loaded costs here. And then you can go back to tasks in your Gantt chart. Okay, what do you now need to do? Now you need to walk every task which is not bold and assign the necessary resources to it. So we had here analyze future needs. This is something which takes 2 weeks. I double click it, double click on the 2. I go to the second tab called resources. let's say I will use my senior consultant and my junior consultant for that task. And during that period of 2 weeks, let's assume that our senior consultant will work 40% of his time on this one, and that our junior consultant will work 50% of his time on this one. I save it. And so on, and so you continue. You walk all the tasks, and you define the amount of work. So analyze the oatmeal environment. Let's say it's the senior who will do that, and he will spend 50% of his time during 1 week, because this activity only takes 1 week. If you exaggerate and you give somebody too much work, let's do that. Increase this to 80%. Give somebody too much work. You will see that little red men appear to the left. This indicates that somebody is overloaded, overworked. So you should normally not have this. Okay, does this help us with our cost? Yes, it does. If you go to View and you scroll down and you look for this one, the resource costs, make sure that's selected. Then you will see that you have a column here which starts showing cost elements. So for every task where you define the resources, it will show the cost. And it will also show the grand totals for the different main activities. You can use a trick to have the overall total cost. Insert here a line. Move all this to the right. No, first here. Main full project. And move all this to the right. Then you see that he shows here on top the full total for the project. So this was a quick and easy way to discover the cost for our project. Of course, if you have costs like travel or so, you should also assign them to the task where the cost will occur. So let's say that here, this one. I also have travel for 1 unit, so 1 times 1,000 euro. Okay, I've added that. That's also added to the total cost of our project. So, we have discovered what was our initial intention. Discover the total cost of our project. Thanks for watching.